All right, so today we read Numbers 14 and 15. And in Numbers 14, it picks up where we left off yesterday in chapter 13, where where Moses had sent some of the strong men into the land that God promised them to check it out, and told them to stay for 40 days and get a good feel for the whole situation in the land. And Caleb and Joshua brought back a good report and said the land is amazing and we can conquer the people that are there. And then they had some other men that came back, and it calls their report evil and says that they were sowing doubt and making everyone fearful with their report. They said that the people there were giants and that we were grasshoppers in their sight, and was basically saying that the land was not good and that it would eat them up. So the children of Israel were listening to the bad report, not the good report, and they were terrified and they were crying and they were complaining and murmuring against Moses and saying, "Why didn't you let us die in the land of Egypt? This is awful." So they're terrified, and they're not trusting God. They're letting fear consume them. And then Joshua and Caleb, they try to speak up and encourage everyone and say, God brought us this far. He's not going to leave us now. Everything's going to be fine. But they didn't want to listen. So God gets really upset with them and wants to destroy them again. And then Moses intercedes for them, and he basically runs through the entire scenario. He's like, "God, if you kill us, then what happens to all the work that you've done thus far? You brought us out of this land where we were slaves, and this is our testimony. So if you kill us here, you kill our testimony." So, and then, God hearkens to the voice of Moses, and he does give consequences to the men. It says that the men who gave the bad report were killed by a plague. And then in chapter 15, God gives them instructions on atonement for their sins, and I think he's reinforcing this message because of all of the people who are speaking against him and murmuring against the Lord. And he says those that sin out of ignorance, when they find out that they have sinned, they need to atone for their sins. And I think that's it. But a lot going on, lots of drama in the wilderness in these readings today. But if you're inclined to comment, would love to hear what stood out to you and what you're thinking about from the reading today, and looking forward to continuing our learning journey. Thank you so much for joining. Have a great day.